Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving headfirst into HubSpot's 2025 report, and it's a big one. We're talking about the state of AI in marketing and really how teams are going from just kind of playing around with it to making it the absolute core of how they operate. All right, so here's the plan. First, we're going to tackle this massive AI gold rush happening right now. Then, we'll get real about what's actually holding teams back. After that, we'll lay out a blueprint for success, look at the actual ROI people are seeing, and finally, we'll talk about getting ready for what's just around the corner. Okay, first up, let's just get a handle on how big this thing has gotten. And Gold Rush is really the perfect way to put it. Adoption is, well, it's everywhere, but that doesn't mean success is. Get this, a massive 2/3 of marketers globally are already using AI in their role. And in the US, that number shoots up to 74%. So let's be clear, AI is not some thing of the future. It is right here, right now for most of us in the industry.
Okay, so everybody's using it. But is it actually working for everyone? That's the real question, right? Is all this buzz and activity really leading to smart, integrated success, or is it just noise?
And this is where we see the central problem. You've got companies, a whopping 98% of them, ready to pour money into AI. But look at the employees. Only about half of them are actually excited to use the tools. And that creates this huge disconnect, this adoption-implementation gap. So what's causing this gap? Let's dig into the hurdles that are really holding marketing teams back from getting the most out of AI. It turns out the roadblocks are pretty much the same for everyone. Topping the chart? Data privacy concerns. That's a big one for 41% of teams. Right after that, you've got the classic, we just don't have the time to learn this stuff. And finally, just feeling totally overwhelmed by a sea of different tools that don't talk to each other. So what this really tells us is that you can't just throw more software at the problem. The real fix is cultural. It's about better education. And I love this quote from Maria Garib at HubSpot because it nails it. You have to build AI into the actual work people are doing every day. That's how they learn, that's how they get quick wins, and that's how they build real confidence. Okay, so if education and real-world application are the keys, what's the game plan? How do you move from just random acts of AI to making it a core part of your operating system? Well, the teams that are really crushing it with AI don't treat it like a shiny new toy. They treat it like plumbing. It's essential infrastructure, and that means building it on a really solid foundation, making sure it plugs into the systems you already have, knowing exactly how you'll measure success, having real training, clear rules of the road, and making sure security is baked in from the very start. And this AI marketing maturity model is such a great way to visualize that journey. You know, most of us start out in that experimenting phase, right? A few people are just playing around with ChatGPT. The goal, though, is to climb that ladder, from adopting it for specific jobs, to integrating it deep into your workflows, all the way up to transforming your entire marketing operation. It's a good moment to ask yourself, where are we on this chart right now? And look, there's a real sense of urgency here. Jonathan Hunt from HubSpot puts it bluntly. In 2025, if you're not using AI for content production, monetization, and distribution, you're already behind. It's not about being cutting edge anymore, it's about not being left in the dust. Okay, so that brings us to the really good part. Why bother with all this work? Why climb that maturity ladder? What's the actual ROI? What do you get for all that effort? The numbers don't lie. A huge 75% of marketers say they're seeing a clear return on investment from using AI. So this isn't some gamble on the future. For most teams, it's already paying off, big time. So what does that ROI actually look like? Well, for the most part, it's all about efficiency. The top benefit is a big boost in productivity, followed closely by just straight-up time savings. But it's not just about speed. It's also about being smarter. Almost 40% of teams are seeing better data insights and better personalization, too. And this isn't just theory. We're talking real-world impact. Take a look at Agicap, a cash management platform that used HubSpot's AI and saved, wait for it, 750 hours a week. A week! Plus, they boosted their deal velocity by 20%. Now that's the kind of result that makes everyone in the C-suite sit up and pay attention.
All right, so we've seen the proof, we know it's worth it. So let's wrap up by looking ahead. Because let's be honest, the ground is still shifting under our feet. Staying competitive means getting ready for what's next.
So what does this mean for our teams? Well, for one, they're going to look different. You're seeing these brand new roles pop up. like AI prompt engineers. But maybe even more important are the skills we all need to have now. You gotta have that deep expertise in your field to steer the AI correctly. You need to be data literate to understand what it's telling you. And honestly, you just have to be committed to learning constantly because this stuff changes so fast. And one of the biggest areas of change? Search. The old rules are getting thrown out the window. Nearly a third of Gen Zs is already using AI for search instead of Google. So what does that mean for you? It means your whole SEO game has to change. It's no longer just about ranking on a page, it's about getting your brand featured in those AI-generated answers. That means building a super strong presence everywhere and really digging into what kind of content these AI models like to feature. So at the end of the day, here's the big takeaway. The next phase of AI isn't just about cranking out more blog posts. As Martina Britus says, it's about weaving AI into the very fabric of your processes and workflows. And the foundation for all of that? Making sure your people, your whole team, are truly fluent in AI. So that really leaves us with one final big question. We all know the shift is happening. Moving from just dabbling with tools to making AI a core part of your strategy, that's not a question of if anymore. It's a question of how fast. Your team is probably already playing with it. So the real challenge for 2025 is this. Are you ready to stop playing and start building the roadmap that turns all those little experiments into a massive competitive advantage?